It's been about 6 weeks or so since we got the boat running really, really well, and it's almost seems like over time it's sort of degraded. And we found a couple of things here. Right now it's not running well at all, almost exhibiting some of the same symptoms that it had in the beginning. So let's take a peek down here in the engine a little bit closer, and we'll show you what we found. This engine has a horrible vibration issue. That's what this thing does, and we're seeing all kinds of problems as a result of that. We pulled the plugs, and what we found was that the cap on this front spark plug was actually almost completely off. So it apparently was not firing correctly, and we can see a difference in the electrodes on both of these spark plugs. This one in the back, this one in the front. This one in the back looks as though it was probably running right, but it's fouled out now because it's had all kinds of other issues, but it seems to be probably the better one. We think this one was probably not firing or not firing the way it should. So we got a plug problem. We have loose pieces on the plugs. That was one thing that we found. We also found that the air cleaners were both loose, which tells us, and we've seen this before in some of this while we've been working on this, where we can see bits and pieces of gasket have just shaken all over the place and maybe even ingested inside the engine. We're not really sure yet. We haven't gotten down into it. But in the front carb here, these two bolts, and then in the back, these two bolts, this is what holds the whole mess together. And we found these were just finger tight as we came up to it and started to do our inspection on it. We use Loctite here, so we're, that was our solution to holding everything together. And apparently it's either not enough or we're not given enough time to set up. But we have to find some way to get this thing to stay together while it runs. And I think what's going to happen is we're going to put everything together. We're going to make new gaskets. We're going to clean up the plugs. We have another set to put in. We'll take it over to the lake and start it up and get it running back to the way it was. We'll readjust the carbs, and one of the things that we learned was that the books all say set each carburetor the same. That's not what we found to be the case. We got a better performance, and in fact solved the problem by doing separate individual adjustments until the thing got dialed in and ran. So we'll do all that, and then I think what's going to happen is as time goes on, we're going to have to take this thing apart and check it, right? We don't really know at what point things start to just completely come unglued on us here. So we'll do that, we'll run it and try that and see where it gets us. Thanks for watching.